Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we stand today at a crossroads. The United Nations has unveiled its strategy on new technologies, a vision that champions artificial intelligence, biotechnology, digital surveillance, and more as the keys to advancing our global future. It promises that these tools will help achieve the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals and align with the UN Charter and human rights values. Yet, as we listen to this optimistic call for innovation, I ask, at what cost? In our pursuit of progress, have we actually paused to consider the older spiritual and moral price? Our faith traditions teach us that humans are more than just a cog in a machine. Each one of us is a sacred life, endowed with dignity and divine purpose. Human dignity is enshrined even in the language of the United Nations. But we must remind ourselves what it really means. Technology, especially when left unchecked, can easily override the worth of a person. And a recent UN review acknowledges this tension. Technological change in the digital era is transformational, but it does not always advance sustainable development or reduce inequality. After all, more people today have more smartphones than they do clean water. Even as AI apps grow, so does the suffering to the poor. The sobering fact tells us mere gadgets and algorithms alone cannot solve hunger, injustices, or spiritual emptiness. We have examples throughout history where new inventions, even with the best intentions, ended up causing great harm. We must not treat technology as value neutral. As the Vatican warned in a new teaching, like any product of human creativity, AI can be directed towards positive or negative ends. When used in ways that respects human dignity, I think it can contribute positively to the human vocation. Yet the shadow of evil also looms here. In plain words, any tool can be misused. Even as the UN strategy calls for aligning new tech with human rights and ethics, it remains focused on goals and efficiency, not the sacredness of life, or the ultimate questions for our souls. Think for a moment of what is at stake. Artificial intelligence, powerful as it is essentially a set of computer programs and data. It learns patterns, but does not have a soul or consciousness. A religious leader recently reminded us that no set of utilitarian AI algorithms should determine or speak for our most treasured human values and spiritual experiences. AI cannot provide inspired divine truth or independent moral guidance. In other words, we cannot allow machines to dictate to us what is wrong and what is right, or what makes us truly human. And as one moving passage puts it, as creation of God, man create AI, but AI cannot create God. We ignore that truth at our peril. Consider biotechnology, editing genes, cloning, even rewriting the code of life. This sounds miraculous, but it treads on holy ground. Every human life, from conception, is sacred. Science may give us the power to change bodies, even design children with desired traits, but do we have the wisdom or indeed the right to do so? When we manipulate life itself, we risk playing God. History warns us. Eugenics and similar movements promised perfection, but ended in horror. The UN strategy mentions biotechnology in passing, but its focus is on innovation and development, not on the profound ethical questions of altering life. We cannot allow ambition to override conscience. And what of digital surveillance and data? Our freedom depends on trust and privacy. Even every action and word can be tracked by algorithm. Human agency is crushed. True love, true faith, true kindness all require free choice. We cannot love when coerced. We cannot pray when we fear we're always being watched. When governments or corporations use technology to watch us day and night, they deny us the dignity of being free children of God. The UN strategy at least notes privacy and rights as challenges to overcome, but it treats them as technical problems, not as spiritual imperatives. Yet our Creator intended for balance. We are to be stewards of technology, not slaves to it. If we slip, we risk a world where algorithms misrepresent AI as a person. a grave violation that could erode social trust, and where the digital divide simply deepens existing injustices. This is not a call to halt every innovation. That would be as foolish as using fire or natural medicine. But it is a call to place moral and spiritual values at the centre of our decision making. The United Nations itself said that they must work with partners on ethics, equality, sovereignty and accountability. We must insist that this does not remain empty rhetoric. In every boardroom, in every Senate, in every tech summit and every social media post, we need to ask, how does this respect human dignity? Does this honour the sacredness of life? We need a balanced approach. Innovation needn't be the enemy of faith. Computers can help doctors heal, and weather balloons can warn us of storms. But the power of innovation must be guided by wisdom. This is a vision worth embracing, a future where AI and biotech advance only when they lift people up, not when they exploit or dehumanise. It means using new tools to cure diseases, feed the hungry and protect the environment, but never at the expense of mistreating our neighbours, born or unborn, as mere data points. My friends, in this era we are tempted with a false gospel of technology, a promise that progress alone will deliver heaven on earth. But history and faith teach us otherwise. We know that even as builders of Babel reached for the skies, they lost their way because they forgot humility and God. Let us not build a modern Babel of bits and bytes. Let us keep our hearts attuned for the divine purpose of humanity, to love, to serve and to honour life. We owe it to our children, we owe it to our Creator, whoever that may be to you, to ensure human dignity and the sacredness of life are never casualties of convenience. Let us stand together, people of faith and conscience, to remind our leaders technology must be a servant, not a god. If we fail to place moral and spiritual values at the centre of policy, the very soul of our civilization will be at risk. So let's move forward wisely, balancing innovations with ethical truths that bind us all. Let us raise our voices in our communities and beyond, saying yes to progress, but only when it upholds dignity and sanctity over every life. This is our solemn duty to God, to humanity, and to the generations yet to be born. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time, see you later.